Uh, you guys have said, Ryan Day has said that you guys haven't played your best game yet. That, yeah, obviously in sports you played well, but not entirely. How much do you think of that is because the season's had no rhythm, that you've been on again, off again, and the fact that you haven't played a team until now where until now you could get away with not playing your best. Do you
Yeah,
think that you guys, how much is there to that you think you can play your best because you're going to have to play your best?
yeah, I think that's a big part of it. You're right. There hasn't been any rhythm to anything we've done this season. You know, we've been, taking hits one right after another, whether it be games getting canceled or players having to sit out. And it's just been a really weird year, no doubt about it. And that I think that plays a big part in it, that there's just no rhythm to it, and when it's in a season, you get so used to the weekly routine always being the same over and over, and it just carries over into everything. My week, like last season, my weeks never changed. Like what I did during the week, exactly the same every week to a T. So yeah, I think that's a big part of it. And then also the aspect of we could, the teams that we've played to this point, we could get by without playing, 4 quarters of really good football.
We'll go to Nathan Baird from Cleveland.com.
Hey, Josh, just curious what yourself and maybe other players on the team, I guess you can speak for yourself, just kind of what you think this game means for Justin Fields. Obviously, quarterbacks get a lot of credit, but there's also a lot of pressure on their shoulders, and just how much there is on him to perform well and kind of rise to the occasion in a game like this.
Yeah, there's no doubt a lot of pressure on Justin's shoulders in a game like this. But to be fair, there's a lot of pressure on Justin's shoulders every game. I mean, even you go back to last season and how many big games we played in then and into this year. I mean, there's always a lot of pressure, especially on Ohio State quarterbacks through the years. If you look back, there's always been a lot of pressure on him, and I honestly believe Justin is someone who's built to handle that pressure. So I think he'll do great, obviously.
Next question will be Rod Walker from the New Orleans Advocate.
Hey, Josh. Wyatt was named first team All-American today, but what's he just sort of been like lining up beside him, and maybe what's something you've learned from him, and what's he been like as a teammate?
Yeah, he's been a great teammate. Me and Wyatt are obviously super close, and we've played together really right next to each other the last 4 seasons. And I've gotten lucky, man. I lucked out. I mean, he's an incredible football player, really smart, and works really hard, man. Me and him have gelled big time. So it's been awesome getting to play next to him. I'm gonna miss it, no doubt about it.
We'll go to Joey Kaufman from Columbus Dispatch.
Josh, if this was a typical season, you guys would be headed to the bowl game, Sugar Bowl, New Orleans, a few days ahead of time, and probably do some various festivities around the game. That's been the case. Fiesta Bowl, Rose Bowl, Past Bowl experiences. What has it been like not having that this year?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's such a shame because anytime we go as a team out to bowl sites, we just have so much fun. It's one of my favorite weeks of the year every year. I mean, as a team, we just have a blast. So it's super disappointing that we don't get to this year. We've really the turnaround was so fast, it almost doesn't even feel like a bowl game, to be honest. Usually I don't know how many days we had in between the Big Ten Championship and the Fiesta Bowl last year. I think it was like 17 or something like that, 18. I don't know. The turnaround just seems quicker. It doesn't feel real, but neither does anything that's happened this year, right? I mean, it's been crazy. So yeah, it's a shame we're missing out on that because we always just have so much fun.
Next will be Andrea Adelson from the ACC Network.
Josh, I know you told me back in August that this was the game that you all targeted to have this rematch because of what happened last year. What is it like now that it's here, given all the adversity you guys have faced? And you just talked about pressure. Do you feel like your team feels pressure because of what happened last year and wanting to get payback, so to speak?
Yeah, this is exactly where we wanted to be. It's no secret that we wanted to win that game really badly last year, and it was extremely rough the way that we left that field. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely good to be back in this position, and this is where we wanted to be, and thank God we're here after the crazy year we've had. And I think we're just excited to get another shot at them.
Next is Steve Helwagen from Bucknuts Media.
Hey, Josh. Wanted to ask you, last year in this game, you guys struggled inside the 20-yard line, had those 3 field goals first half, and then Northwestern last week, kind of the same thing inside the 30 were some problems. Just have you guys pinpointed maybe what was going on in there? I know you go back to that game last year. They missed a pass interference call in the end zone that hurt you guys, and JK dropped a pass. But which, those plays go either way, but just what's your thought maybe about what can be done?
Yeah. I think it's all little things, honestly. The intensity of defenses get intensified in the red zone. Obviously there's like an extra defender there, with the back of the end zone being there. And so defenses definitely can buckle down and make stops in that situation. And as a team, that just leaves our offense with, no room for error, basically. And it was always like when you watched it last year, it was always little things, right? JK on that touchdown catch, like you said, right across that play across the back of the end zone with the pass interference, but our protection could have been better, right? There was someone right in his face. We should have been better on that. And maybe Justin makes that throw if that doesn't happen. So there's all kinds of things that happen down there that are extreme. They may seem extremely little, but in the long run, it's the difference between field goals and touchdowns.
We'll go to Ralph Russo from the Associated Press.
Hey, Josh. So after a game in a normal season, I'm sure you get together with your family, celebrate, get together with your friends a little bit and celebrate. What has it been like this year? What's a post-game celebration like for Josh Myers after in COVID world?
Yeah, one of my favorite things about games is getting to see my family afterwards and talk to them. And it's extremely disappointing that it's not something that I could do this year. So they still always go to every game that they're allowed to go to, depending on where we play. And I FaceTime them on the bus or on my way, back to my house if we had a home game. So I still talk to them, but that's my way of getting to spend time with them in that amount of time, because that time is really special to me. I don't get to see my family very often as is. And it's a shame that it's the way it is, but nothing we can do about it. And so I just try and talk to them as much as I can when I can.
Time for one final question from Dennis Dodd from CBS Sports.
Josh, I wonder if you'd kind of relive one more time the circumstances and how hard that was with battling through COVID.
When I had it?
Yeah.
It was terrible. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you. I tested positive and I left my house immediately, and had to go quarantine for 10 days. Didn't see anyone for 10 days. I sat there. Thank God I had some schoolwork for me to do, and to finish up on some finals, at least those first couple of days. So I didn't completely lose my mind then, but boy, towards the end of it, I was watching film on Michigan State constantly, just trying to, help the guys. I had nothing else to do. Texting all the guys who started that week and, sending them stuff and trying to be a part of it as much as I could, because man, I was sick not getting, not to be able to be there. Another thing too, like Max Ray is one of my best friends, and him getting his first start, that's something I would have loved to have been there. I can't even express how badly I wish I could have been there for that, so I could see him do it in person. It was hard. It was hard to just sit there and not be able to be a part of it, but I got through it. So here we are, right?
Was there a dorm that they put you in, or what was the isolation like?
I had a separate place to stay from it's a hotel, but I did not stay in a hotel. I stayed in a separate building in the middle of nowhere, a cabin.